It is not only important for us to tell stories of the past, but that the stories make a difference in the lives they touch.
Cincinnati 28 is a true story about 28 slaves that ended up on the banks of the Ohio River, and the story of their struggles and their sacrifices in order to get that far, and the people that helped them on their road to freedom. There are about 6 actors and actresses that play the different roles in the play. Each one of them has a story to tell. But the main story is the story of slavery and how it affects history and how we can pass that story on. Hopefully, our audiences will walk away with the feeling that through history we can learn, and that knowledge can help us make a difference in the world to come.
I was once told that there is no such thing as history. I was told that man came up with that word so that they could put it in a form that they could identify with. And man, in its primitive form, had to give God a sex in order to relate to God, so they deemed God a him. And so as man wanted to himself be God, man decided that when he did something, it was important for him to tell his story. But God said, really, it's about God stirring. So I think this story is important because we need to be able to tell how God stirred when things weren't right, and how God stirred in people to set things right, and the risk that people took to do what they believed in. That's why this story is important to tell. It's important to tell how God stirred to make things right.
My name is Berendts. I'm playing the part of Fairfield. And Fairfield is a white Southerner who was raised on a plantation. His family owned slaves, and he grew up actually with slave children being his playmates. But as the years have gone on, for whatever reason, he has grown to despise slavery. He hates everything about it, hates everything about the ownership of people, and just finds it utterly disgusting, actually. So he works as an Underground Railroad conductor and does whatever he needs to do.
Nobody. Don't these runaways understand that I am a hater of slavery? I believe that every person is entitled to their freedom and should never become the property of anyone.
And I'm doing a couple of really nasty characters in this play. One is a overseer, and the other is a slave catcher. So I get to play the bad guys, which is always the most fun.
Since you're worthless anyway, you can't read or write. All you're good for is labor. Just human machines set to pig and cotton from sunrise to sunset. And it's my responsibility to make sure you do it right. Master expects me to look after the cotton picking, inspecting the bags, making sure the harvest is of good quality.
It's like us older guys, we know American history, and we know all the horrible things that have gone on in our past, but it's like each generation has to be reminded of that.
Slavery still exists today and takes on many forms. Some are bound by the chains of racism, poverty, or authoritarian governments. Others wear the shackles of injustice and unfair treatment in the workplace, classrooms, and on our playgrounds. How we help to eliminate injustice in our communities, our society, and the world will have a lasting influence on our future. The Cincinnati 28 emphasizes the importance of a compassionate voice and the touch of a helping hand. It exemplifies the strengths and unselfish sacrifices of those who gave their lives so that others could achieve their dreams and the freedom to share their gifts. Hopefully we can learn from the past, and that knowledge will make a difference in the future.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long, long way from home.